Peace unto you. Here are my Christ adventures, part 3. While I got the energy, I was like, let me just do part 3 real quick because I just released part 2. So, quick recap of part 2 is it was the entire Christ trials. When I first met Yeshua, and when he asked me to, formally begin the Christ trials, he asked me, do you want to start the Christ trials? I said yes, obviously. Got teleported to the front of Postwoods, and I got teleported by the pool. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 addresses to the right, and then there's the party house. So if you're standing in front of the party house door, the 4 addresses to the left, I was on the little wooden little blocks in the little space to the all the way left address, because that little space leads to the community pool. So I teleported right there, and I sat on the wooden center block, and then I looked behind me, and then there is this black dude, so-called black dude, that opened the door. I actually know this person in Postwoods too. I know these people. They literally live in Postwoods, the same addresses and everything. And he opened the door, and a full-grown husky ran out. Remember that when we was in the before Christ trials, when I was speaking to Yeshua, you know how he raised his hand and the baby husky appeared. So that connection. And the husky that I actually got in my real life, named Solaris, I had to transition back. I had to literally do the Christ trials thing. I had to return it back. So I no longer have it. I had to return it. And it's like a connection. So and the husky that was in the astral world is the same exact husky that I got Solaris. The same eyes, the same temperament, the same everything. Like, my mama even told me a story, because I had to give my the husky to her, and then she gave it to somebody else that she knew, because we couldn't have the dog anymore in this new house. And she said one day she went to sleep, and Solaris was talking to her and saying, "You don't know how powerful I am." My mother is telling me this. She said this was toward the end of her keeping of the husky. She said that she talked to the husky like it was a human and said, "Listen, I don't know if these people are about to kill you or about to give you to a new home." She's kept it real with it. And then she said suddenly the husky was talking back to her and started flying and said, "You don't know how powerful I am," because the husky was always around all of my Christ teachings, and I got it from a Christ. So the husky Solaris is a Christ. And I'm going to post pictures on the screen. So that's the powerful, like, Yeshua gave me the husky. That's why it's so, like sentimental. It's very real to me. I only got the husky because of the situation. So when full-grown husky ran out, running around, finally captured it, then a big flight of stairs appeared in front of the owner's home, but like a little bit towards the right if you're looking like this, and his door is behind you. So it was a little bit to the right, like in the middle of the front of Postwoods, near the dumpster. Big flight of stairs appeared. I started to walk up it. Husky, I let him go. He'd go walking up it, and then I felt myself getting pulled. It feels like you're sinking and like getting pulled in quicksand. And anytime I feel that feeling, I said, "Oh," because I've been astral projecting so much, because Ryan Cropper taught me, at age 13. So I've been astral projecting for years, because this is mid-teenage years. Finally, I recognize when I'm getting pulled back in my body. When I recognize it, it's like my thought adjusted my frequency somehow and sent an alert. I know all of these things now. That's why I said somehow, because I'm putting myself then. So at the time, I didn't know about the deep levels that I teach now about frequency, because, I'm going through the Christ trials. Now I'm a Christ. When my thought was like, I'm getting pulled back in my body, the husky turned around. He's like 4 or 5 steps ahead of me. He turned around as soon as I thought that. I didn't say it. I thought it. And then started to walk down the steps and plopped on top of my body, and I felt the warmth and heaviness of the husky. And I was like, "Oh, I'm really here." And that jolted me back in the astral world, and we finished walking up the steps. Once we got to the top steps, when we completed the flight of stairs, I teleported back to the starting position on that one little center block. And then now the husky's not running away. It's following me. I walk up to the owner's door and knock. He opened the door and said, "You got the highest score of Call of Duty." Call of Duty. What is this? The Christ trials. My duty was to complete the Christ trials. And he said I got the highest score. Yeshua took the Christ trials, and I scored higher than him. Why? Because he mentored me. John 14:12. So then, I'm going to have to make a little migration. because my wife just pulled up. Then after that, I jolted back in my body, and now Yeshua is talking to me so freely. And then I ended up developing. I gotta grab the book so I can show y'all. I ended up developing the Christ trials because remember, I was telling y'all that I was having issues and a hard time, specifically, that's what I said, with translating what I was going through in the spirit world into physicality, because I was going through like Galactic Federation of Light type things. I no longer work with them because now I got Christ things to do, what we call Source's will embodied. I would translate it to you, God's will embodied. But I ended up creating the Christ consciousness in 3 days. I made this book like this when I was mid-teens. You know, we got the numbers all around the outer. This is what the book looks like. After Nadiie Black. After we did the Christ trials, I basically now am what I am today, but I'm a kid still. So I was like, what's the best way for me to translate everything I just experienced so it will be remembered forever? And I wrote it down for me when I get older and I grow into this, can always reference. So I'm a genius. So we're going to actually go through it. Now, the thing is, my 3-day course teaches you this. My 3-day course is the universal version of what I'm about to show you now, Christ consciousness in 3 days. I used to tell people, walk with me for 3 days and you too shall see. People see the hawks, my spirit guide, or animal totem, Omakichipanikim. That is the language of Siksika. Omakichipanikim means hawk in the language of Siksika. And that's actually my spirit guide. It follows me. Like right now above my house, the hawk is circling. Yeah, it's really, really real. Remember I told you 582 Postwood Drive is the only address with the railing? Well, after I completed the animal totem trials, there's many different trials, but this is the Christ trials, not the animal totem trials. So I won't tell you that story. Maybe another video. But after I completed it, the hawk was literally perched up. After I completed it, the hawk was perched up on the railing. My sister sent me a picture of it and said, "Get your friend, bro. What in the world?" And then I recently, this year, like last month or the month before, I confirmed her. I said, "Do you remember that hawk being perched up on the railing just to make sure I wasn't in the astral world?" And she said, "Yeah, bro. That was so freaking scary." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in the same reality." So the 3-day course I sent our one and only ebook titled God's Plan for Humanity, A Message from the Mountaintop, our legendary 3-day course that enlightens all our students in 3 days. If you take it full 72 hours, don't skip it, don't change anything specifically as it is. This was the first version of that, but this was catered specifically to me. So you get to see literally the frequency that Yeshua taught me. You get to see the frequency that Yeshua taught me. So the realms of beyond. This is the first starting of it. Realms of the beyond. Number 1, retired descriptions of the world. And then there's like a root, which is call in source to guide you to no judgment. And then another root, which is love and accept the fact that all is one. Then number 2 is see all as God. The root of that is know God is all and know God is with you. And the second root is remember anything of the flesh or physical moves by your belief. And then 3, it says perfect love, perfect peace, perfection is source. Root number 1 is if you yearn for anything, you only yearn for God. And root number 2, if you feel any emotion, hold communion with God. And then now is the isness. We're going to speed through it because we're in the last minute. Now is the isness. Number 1, move only by the will of source. Root number 1 is retire the ego. Remember the body, flesh is not so. Root number 2 is the world, physical is not so, only source is. Number 2 is when one perceives time, it serves to receive the guidance of God. The root 1 is every hour set an alarm to speak with source. Root number 2 is maintain the love of source always in, time, and out. Number 3 is see with the eyes of God. Root 1, be in the love of source. Root 2, meditate always by keeping breaths deep. Comment below deep. And then when the mind drifts, 1, forgive yourself, love again. Root 1, see yourself as God does. Root 2, take a few deep breaths, 3 deep breaths.